Hello, jewels of inestimable value. She was a storm, calm at her core, but powerful enough to leave you in awe. There's something about Sigma females that leaves men utterly captivated, as if they've stumbled upon a force of nature they can't quite comprehend, yet can't resist. These women don't follow society's playbook. They operate in a realm entirely their own, unpredictable, fiercely independent, and quietly confident. The rules don't apply to them, and that's exactly why they're so mesmerizing. What makes men not just interested but wildly attached to Sigma females isn't anything you'd expect. It's not about looks or charm, but something much deeper, more elusive. Once you encounter a Sigma female, you're drawn into a game where the stakes aren't clear, but walking away? Not an option. Number 1. Their minds are an enigma. A Sigma female's mind is like a locked treasure chest. Everyone knows there's something valuable inside, but no one's quite sure how to access it. She's not the type to spill her thoughts or emotions just because someone's curious. Instead, she reveals things in layers, keeping men constantly intrigued. Her conversations aren't filled with shallow talk. They're a glimpse into a complex world that few ever fully get to explore. Every time a man thinks he's figured her out, she throws another curveball, whether it's her perspective on something unexpected or how she navigates a situation with ease and confidence. This mystery keeps men hooked because they're not used to it. Most people lay everything out in the open, but she holds back. Not to play games, but because she values her own inner world too much to let just anyone in. It's like she's always a few steps ahead, and that sense of depth makes men constantly want more. They don't just want to be with her, they want to understand her, and that's the challenge. Her mind feels like an endless puzzle, one they're determined to solve, but the truth is, she's always going to keep them guessing, and that's exactly what makes her so addictive. Number 2. They're both confident and mysterious. Confidence alone is attractive, but what really sets a Sigma female apart is the way she pairs it with an air of mystery. She doesn't flaunt her abilities or scream for attention because she doesn't need to. It's this quiet, almost unbothered self-assurance that pulls people in, especially men. She moves through life as if she knows exactly what she's capable of, but you won't catch her bragging about it. This subtlety makes her even more magnetic because people are naturally curious about what she's holding back. She's the kind of woman who can walk into a room and command it without saying a word, but at the same time, you never really know what she's thinking. Men are used to people who show their cards, but with her, they can never be quite sure if they've won her over or if she's just letting them play along. This blend of confidence and mystery keeps them constantly on edge, wondering where they stand, yet always wanting to be closer to her. It's like she gives just enough to keep them interested, but never enough for them to fully know her. That balance between being confident and hard to figure out is intoxicating, making men feel like they're chasing something rare and valuable, and it's a chase they never really want to end. Number 3. Their energy is rare. There's something about the way a Sigma female carries herself that pulls people in without her even trying. It's not loud and it's not flashy. It's this magnetic energy that just naturally draws attention. Men are especially intrigued because she doesn't seek approval or validation like most people do. She's comfortable in her own skin, and that kind of quiet confidence stands out in a world where everyone's screaming for attention. What makes her truly captivating is that she doesn't even realize the effect she has. It's effortless. When a Sigma female walks into a room, it's not about being the center of attention, but somehow all eyes end up on her. She doesn't force it. Her presence is simply felt. And because she's not out there trying to impress anyone, men are left wondering what's behind that calm, self-assured exterior. It's not something you see every day, and that's what makes it irresistible. Men can't help but be drawn to her because she doesn't them to be. It's her rare blend of self-possession and mystery that leaves them wanting more, even if they can't quite put their finger on why. That quiet power, the kind that doesn't scream but still commands attention, keeps men hooked in a way they can't shake. Number 4, they don't fall for flattery. A Sigma female is immune to flattery in a way that throws men off balance. Compliments that would make most people blush or feel special barely make her blink. She doesn't fall for sweet talk or grand gestures, because she sees right through them. It's not that she's cold or dismissive, it's just that she's been around long enough to know that words without substance don't mean much. Men quickly realize they can't charm her with the usual tricks, and that forces them to come at her differently. What really sets her apart is that she's not impressed by surface-level attention. She's heard it all before, and she's not interested in empty praise. It's not enough to tell her she's beautiful or smart. She needs to see something real, something meaningful. This makes men feel like they have to earn her interest, and that challenge drives them crazy. Most women might melt at a well-timed compliment, but with a Sigma female, it just doesn't work. She values authenticity above everything else, and men find themselves constantly trying to figure out how to connect with her in a way that goes beyond the superficial. This makes her both frustrating and fascinating, and it leaves men endlessly intrigued, wanting to prove they're worth more than just a few words. Number 5. She forces you to level up. Being with a Sigma female is not for the faint-hearted. She's constantly evolving, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes even physically. She's always striving to be a better version of herself, and she expects the same from the people around her. This isn't a woman who will let you coast through life on autopilot. If you're with her, you better be ready to level up, because she's not going to stick around if you're stagnant. Men become attached to her because she forces them to push their boundaries and grow, whether they realize it or not. She won't tolerate laziness or complacency. If she sees potential in you, she'll challenge you to meet it. But it's not about nagging or being demanding. It's about creating an environment where growth is the only option. Men find themselves working harder, thinking deeper, and becoming better versions of themselves just by being around her. It's not something she directly asks for. It's just the way she operates. Her ambition and drive are contagious, and men are drawn to that energy, even if it makes them uncomfortable at times. They crave that feeling of being pushed to new heights, knowing that being with her means they have to bring their best, because she's never going to settle for less. It's addictive, like a fire that burns brighter the closer they get to her. Number 6. She's unconventionally feminine. A Sigma female doesn't fit into the typical mold of femininity, and that's exactly what makes her stand out. She's not interested in being dainty or playing the part of the overly soft and submissive woman. Instead, she blends strength and femininity in a way that's completely her own. She's assertive when she needs to be, and she doesn't shy away from taking control, but there's still a softness to her, a quiet, natural grace that you don't see coming. This balance is what throws men off, in the best way possible. One moment, she's fiercely independent, making decisions with razor-sharp precision, and the next, she can show a depth of compassion and warmth that's unexpected. It's this mix of strength and tenderness that keeps men constantly on their toes, never quite knowing what to expect. She won't adhere to societal expectations of how a woman should act, and that unpredictability is magnetic. Men find themselves captivated by her ability to be both a force to be reckoned with and someone who can offer deep emotional connection when it matters. It's not a mask she wears, it's just who she is. Unconventional, unapologetic, and undeniably feminine in her own powerful way. That blend keeps men hooked, feeling like they've found something rare, something they'll never encounter again. Number 7. Uncompromised independence. A Sigma female's independence isn't just about being able to take care of herself. It's about how she carries herself with the kind of self-assurance that doesn't rely on anyone else's approval. She's not in a relationship because she's looking for someone to fill a void or to prop her up. She's already solid, already complete. Men quickly realize that when they're with her, they're not her emotional crutch or the center of her world, and that changes everything. She's there because she chooses to be, and that choice makes her presence more powerful. There's a confidence in knowing that she doesn't need you, but she you. Men feel the weight of that distinction. It's the difference between someone who's clinging to you out of fear of being alone and someone who's decided you're worth her time. That independence gives her an aura of freedom that's incredibly attractive because she's not afraid of walking away. She's not tied down by fear, insecurity, or obligation. Men can sense that she's not looking to complete a puzzle. They're just a part of her world, not the whole picture. This makes them more drawn to her, constantly wanting to prove themselves, knowing that being with her is a privilege, not a necessity. That kind of power is rare and it's impossible to ignore. Number 8. No drama, just depth. A Sigma female's approach to relationships is like a breath of fresh air in a world of emotional turbulence. She's not into creating drama or stirring up conflict for the sake of it. Instead, she's all about keeping things grounded and straightforward. This doesn't mean she's emotionless or detached, far from it. It's just that her emotional responses are measured and her interactions are genuine. She doesn't indulge in petty arguments or manipulative tactics. She prefers to address issues directly and maturely. Men find this sense of stability incredibly appealing. In a world where many relationships are fraught with highs and lows, her calm demeanor offers a rare kind of peace. There's no guessing game with her. What you see is what you get. She doesn't play games or seek to create unnecessary drama to test your loyalty. Instead, she's open and honest, which makes her incredibly reliable. This level of emotional maturity is magnetic because it's so different from the norm. Men are drawn to her because they know that with her, what you see is what you get. No pretense, no hidden agendas. Her presence in their lives is like finding an oasis in a desert of emotional chaos. It's this clarity and straightforwardness that keeps them deeply attached, knowing they're experiencing something truly special. Number 9. Unwavering boundaries. A Sigma female has an uncanny ability to make men feel like they've stumbled into a world of exclusivity. Her time and attention are not easily given out. She doesn't engage with everyone who comes her way, and she doesn't seek out approval or validation from the masses. Instead, when she decides to invest her time in someone, it's a significant gesture. It's like she's opened a door that's usually kept shut. This rarity makes her attention feel like a prize. Men are drawn to her because she doesn't spread herself thin across countless social interactions. Her focus is intense and deliberate, and when she chooses to share her space with someone, it feels incredibly special. This selective nature creates an aura of exclusivity that makes men feel both valued and privileged. They recognize that being in her orbit is not something that happens every day. It's this scarcity of her attention and the deliberate nature of her interactions that make men chase her more fiercely. They become deeply invested, not just because she's attractive or intriguing, but because earning her focus feels like winning something extraordinary. In the end, what makes Sigma females so irresistibly captivating is their blend of independence, mystery, and emotional clarity. They don't chase validation or conform to expectations, and it's this very refusal to play by the rules that makes them magnetic. Men find themselves drawn into their orbit not just by attraction but by the challenge of understanding and earning a place in their world. It's a dance of self-assuredness and subtlety that keeps men on their toes, constantly striving to match the intensity and depth these remarkable women bring to the table. The allure of a Sigma female lies in her ability to command attention without trying, to be fully herself, while inviting others into her rarefied space. For men, it's not just about being with her. It's about being part of something extraordinary, a connection that feels both deeply meaningful and uniquely elusive. If you found this exploration into the magnetic pull of Sigma females intriguing, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more insights and deep dives into the complexities of relationships and personalities. Hit the subscribe button and join us on this journey of discovery. Thanks for watching, Jules. See you in the next video. Bye for now and stay blessed.